What's going on YouTube? So you don't need me to tell you that trucks are a big deal in America. And while full-size trucks are the best sellers, the mid-size truck segment has seen a ton of growth recently. That's why Nissan is looking to cash in on this growing segment by finally releasing an all-new version of their Frontier pickup. This new truck is combining a lot of modern elements with the tough ruggedness that it's been known for, but how does it stack up against competition such as the Tacoma and Ranger? Let's go ahead and find out. All right, so let's get started here with the exterior design. Now, of course, this really looks nothing like the outgoing generation. We've got a fully modern design, which combines a lot of the newest elements from the entire Nissan lineup, and especially what you see in the recently updated Titan. So up here in the front, you've got a kind of V-shaped grille, but not really. This is more of a boxier, squared off shape than what you find in other Nissan products. You've got several different finishes you can get on this. Most of the models are going to come with a black surround here for a tougher look, but the SV trim level in the middle, that's actually going to come with the body colored surrounds and the silver finish right here. If you go for the Pro 4X model, down here at the bottom is going to be a lot more rugged looking. You're going to actually have a skid plate, and you're also going to have red accented tow hooks to distinguish that model. Now as we move over here to our headlights, of course, as you can tell, we do have the halogen headlights. That's going to be standard on the S and the SV trim levels. If you go for the Pro 4X or the premium package on the SV, that's going to throw in a really nice modern LED arrangement. Down below that, you also have halogen fog lamps. Again, these will be LED if you have the LED headlights. Next up, we'll go ahead and take a look at your different wheel options. So the S model is going to come standard with a 16-inch steel wheel. When you choose the SV, that's going to upgrade you to these 17-inch alloy wheels with the full silver finish. And then if you go for the Pro 4 models, that's going to give you a series of two different 17-inch contrast alloys that you can choose between for a tougher and more rugged look. And in addition to that, those same models are going to come with the tougher cladding that goes around the wheel arches as well as some other elements of the exterior. Coming up here to your mirrors, going for the SV trim level is going to get you power adjustment and body colored paint. Heating is in the convenience package on the SV and standard on the Pro models. And then we also have blind spot monitoring. What Nissan has done is put this in the technology package, which Mason will talk about in just a second. And that's available as an option on all three trim levels.
So the Nissan Frontier is of course a pickup truck, so the different configurations in which you can get it are a very important part of it. As you can tell right now, we have the crew cab 4-door, and we also have the 5-foot short bed on this particular model. You can actually get the long bed with the SV crew cab. That's the only trim level you can do that with. And you also have the king cab that comes with a 6-foot bed. Now, walking around to the rear design of the Frontier, this is going to be completely renovated just like the front and the rest of the exterior design. It looks nothing like the previous generation. It has a lot of new modern touches. So here in the center we have our Nissan emblem. We also have Frontier stamped into the tailgate. Then if we come over here to the taillights, this is going to be one of my favorite elements about the exterior of the Frontier, that you get these premium full LED taillights. That's actually going to be standard equipment. It's odd that it has standard full LED taillights and not LED headlights in the front, but I really like this design touch. And then if we drop down here, we do have some body colored moldings, and we're going to have a 6,700 pound tow rating as a maximum. And of course, it's a truck after all, so we do need to talk about the bed. New for 2022, you're going to have a dampened tailgate, which is a nice touch. It's also very light. And then as far as what you're going to find back here, like I mentioned, this is the 5-foot bed on this model. We're also going to have an optional spray-in bed liner, which is a really nice touch. Nissan also throws in sliding rails here on all of the sides, and also since we have the convenience package, we're going to have LED lighting in the back. We even have a household style outlet here. And then as far as the space itself, they have improved it to over 40 cubic feet of cargo volume back here. Now, as far as your safety systems, Nissan doesn't throw in all of them as standard equipment, but they do make them readily available. So you're going to have standard forward emergency braking with pedestrian detection, and then you can option on the technology package on every single trim level, and that's going to add in all of the rest of them, including lane keeping assist, auto high beams, and adaptive cruise control. Well guys, we appreciate you making it this far in the video. If you haven't subscribed already, please hit that subscribe button down below. Also follow us on our other social medias like Instagram and TikTok. Now let's go ahead and check out the inside.
So walking up to the all-new Frontier, you will find their intelligent entry system standard on the Pro models, as well as optional on this SV. And then remote start is optional on both the SV and the Pro models as well. And then to get inside the truck itself, just press the black button to unlock. Alright, and checking out the interior. Of course, this is a night and day difference from the outgoing generation, since it has a lot of the modern Nissan touches integrated inside. Now, of course, I want to start off by talking about your different interior color and material choices. So standard on all the models is going to be cloth seating, and your choice of charcoal, or on the SV model you have an additional option of sandstone. If you want leatherette or leather seating, both of those are going to be available. That's the SV with premium package, and then the Pro 4X model with premium package for the real leather. Now turning over here to your door trim, it is nicely finished. We have a kind of rubber padding here on the armrest, which feels nice and durable. It goes up through all of this area as well, and it is going to be hard touch along the top. As far as your windows, they're one touch auto up and down for just the driver. And checking out these seats here, the SV and up is going to come with a power adjusting seat. This specific model, as you can see, does not have power lumbar. You actually have a manual lumbar adjustment on the other side of the seat, so it does have lumbar, it's just a manual one. And as far as the seat itself, this is a cloth seat, of course, as you can tell. I like the design of this. You have a lot of different textures and stitching details, and of course, being a Nissan, one of their signature things is the zero gravity seats, so I can confirm that these are very comfortable. That specific example does not have running boards. Of course, they are available, but the step in is not too bad. Now, of course, for the new generation, Nissan has really upped their interior game. You have a brand new design, and you have upgraded materials which are in line with what the rest of the class offers. So across the upper dash on this SV is going to be finished in a hard touch plastic. As we move to this center panel here, this has the same rubber texture through here with a stitching detail. As you move down, you've got more durable plastics that run through here. Everything in the cabin does fit together very well, and we have new handlebars on both sides. And to start up, put your foot on the brake and press the button. So after startup, the first thing you're greeted with is, of course, your gauge cluster. This has been updated to the typical Nissan affair, which is a mostly analog setup with a 7-inch multifunction display right there in the middle. This is going to be standard equipment on all of the trim levels, and of course you can scroll between all of the typical information, including some dedicated stuff for off-road, because of course this is a pretty off-road capable vehicle. Now as we pull back to the steering wheel, we do have a new Nissan design with the updated emblem. It is going to be leather wrapped on this SV model since we have the convenience package. We also have heating since we have that convenience package. And then as far as the wheel itself, this is just tilt. It does not telescope, but it does tilt. Let's go ahead and check out the storage next up. So underneath of our center console here, we have a very generously sized center console. This drops down very deep. We do have a felt lining down there at the bottom, and there's also a 12-volt outlet inside. But you know we gotta test it out. Let's get the thick stack of coupons out. Here we go. Look at that, fits in there absolutely no problem, with plenty of space to spare. Now Now, furthermore, you've got this nice storage area right here. You can stick your phone or something like that because it does have a rubber lining. And up in the front, you have another nice storage area, again with a rubber lining. And then above that, you have your USB and your USB Type-C. Let's go ahead and pull back here to the shifter. We do have the nice leather-wrapped boot here. And of course, as you pull back, you will go into drive, and you can bump over here to the left if you want to manually control the new 9-speed automatic transmission. However, of course, there's no paddle shifters. And then when we go into reverse, this will greet you with the standard backup camera on this model. As you can see, it does have active trajectory. We do also have rear parking sensors. And you can, of course, get the 360-degree camera system if you go for the Pro 4 or Pro 4X models. When you choose that model, that's going to also get you a new off-road mode in the Pro 4X model, so you can activate it while you're off-roading at low speeds and be able to see different obstacles that you're going around. And speaking of off-road, right up above that you do have your 4-wheel drive controls, and next to that you have your climate controls. So of course, as you can tell, this is a dual zone automatic setup. This is in the convenience package for this SV model, and of course it is standard on the Pro models. Operation, as you can tell, is very simple. Down below that you do have heated seats. These are actually going to be optional on both the Pro 4 models and the SV. Okay, and now let's go on up here to our volume knob. So you're going to have a standard 6-speaker sound system. There is an optional Fender sound system on the SV and is included on the Pro models, but we've got the standard 6-speaker one, so we'll go ahead and take a sample of it. Yeah, so overall sound quality of this system is perfectly adequate for this trim level of the truck. Definitely fills up the cabin nicely and even has a little bit of bass to it. Okay, so let's take a look now at the display. So of course, as you would expect, the technology has been upgraded by going to this new generation. This is the standard 8-inch display. This is included until you get to the Pro models. That's going to give you a larger 9-inch display. Regardless of which one you choose, though, you do have plenty of features. So you're going to have standard Android Auto and standard Apple CarPlay. And if you go for the larger display, that's also going to throw in Nissan's integrated navigation system. But beyond those things, this, of course, is the latest Nissan Connect system. I do notice that this operates really quite quickly, quicker than even in some of the more recent Nissans that I've been in. Now, wrapping up the front of the cabin here, you will notice another nice storage area up here on the top. And then we've got two features that are available in the premium packages on both the SV and the Pro 4X models, and that's going to be an auto-dimming mirror. And then up here at the top, you can get a moonroof in that same package. Alright, so now I've hopped back into the rear seat of this Frontier. Of course, like we've already seen through the review, this is the crew cab, so you're going to have the full 4 seats available to you. And inside of this model, we do have plenty of space. So we're going to be looking at 33 inches of legroom, 39 inches of headroom. That puts it basically exactly the same as its biggest rival, which is going to be the Toyota Tacoma. And as you can see, sitting behind my own driving position at 5'8", I probably got about 4 inches of additional legroom from my knee. My feet can slide up underneath the seat a little bit better than in the Tacoma, actually, so that's giving me a bit more comfort. And we do have seat back pockets in the back of both of the seats. As far as other features, you're going to find back here with the SV with convenience package, that's going to be 2 USB ports. One of those is the new Type-C. We do have a household outlet, so that's certainly a nice touch to see in a truck like this. As we pull down the armrest, it will fold out here. It is nicely padded with 2 large cup holders inside. And then you also have the manual sliding rear window. Now we're not quite done with the rear seats yet because I do want to show you guys the under seats for storage. So if we grab this handle here and we lift up this seat, it is very nice and light, I will mention. You're going to reveal a very nice storage bin right here. It's nicely lined in plastic and looks like you can stick a decent amount of stuff. It goes most of the way across, and there's a separate one over there on that side as well. So it's certainly a nice touch to see. Heading next to our passenger seat, of course, as you would expect for a midsize pickup, you do have a manual adjusting passenger seat. And opening up our glove box here, it is lockable. Once it opens up, you'll see a decent amount of space, although it is a little narrower than I would have thought. But it is quite deep, and when we stick our coupons in with a slight fold, looks like they're going to fit in no problem. Now as we come above to the sun visor, it's a nice large size. You do have a mirror, there is no light though, and it does detach and extend. And we're up to 60 just like that.
Nice.
Really quite swift acceleration. I'm impressed. So this actually has best in class standard horsepower, 310 horsepower, 281 pound-feet of torque. It's coming from a 3.8 liter naturally aspirated V6 engine. So with that power, as you can see, that really does accelerate quite nicely. Like I said, that engine is going to also be included across all the trim levels, whereas some of the rivals start you off with like a small 4-cylinder, and then you have to upgrade to higher trim levels to get more power. That's not the case with the Frontier.
Yeah. And I think power feels really good. Another thing that I'm noticing is that it has a nice engine note to it. So I think that a lot of buyers will appreciate that as compared to something like the Tacoma's powertrain or the Ford Ranger, and specifically with that 4-cylinder.
Right, this is a VQ series engine, so it does have that kind of raspy sound to it. And of course, this engine actually has been around for, the updated engine was in the last generation for the last 2 model years, as well as this transmission. So you do actually know that this is going to be a reliable engine in the sense that Nissan's been making the VQ for a long time.
Now, of course, I do want to mention the ride quality. That's an important part about this truck segment. I think a lot of them in the segment really leave a lot to be desired, to be honest with you. The ride quality is normally not the best. I am noticing, though, that this seems very smooth. I think this is definitely better riding than the Tacoma, and I'm also going to group in that Ford Ranger as well. I feel like this is probably the best riding one in the segment. It just feels more like a crossover to me than like just a bouncy truck experience, which I really definitely appreciate in this Frontier.
Right, and you do have the Bilstein off-road shocks if you go for the Pro 4 or Pro 4X models. So of course that would be a little bit different, but this SV is kind of a street-oriented trim level in the sense where you can add some features. It has a little bit sleeker design on the outside and stuff like that. So a lot of people are primarily going to use this as a daily driver, and it definitely does adapt both on-road and you can take it off-road as well. But let's go ahead and talk about what is probably my favorite aspect of the powertrain. And that's not even that it has more power than the competition. It's this right here. This is the 9-speed automatic transmission at work. That's something that does stand out from the competition, which usually have 6-speed or 8-speed automatic transmissions. This is a 9-speed, and it's very responsive. This is actually not related to the 9-speed and the Pathfinder. This is a different transmission, but it does work very well. Actually, it may even be a bit more responsive to throttle changes than in the Pathfinder. It's really, really good.
I think I like this one better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm definitely impressed by that, and it's definitely a standout feature.
Yeah. And as far as your drivetrains, of course, 2-wheel drive is standard. You can get optional 4-wheel drive. That is on all of the trim levels. And as far as your fuel economy is concerned, you're going to be sitting at 20 miles a gallon combined for 2-wheel drive and 19 combined with 4-drive.
And circling back to the transmissions, I do want to mention that a manual is not available.
And I guess we could go ahead and do our slam dunk and airball. For today's slam dunk, I think what we can both agree on is just the fact of how much they have improved this Frontier. I mean, the improvements they made for this all-new model have been really just impressive. This has gone straight from, like something that was pretty ancient to like a really awesome rival in the class that's going to give something like a Toyota Tacoma a run for its money. And then as far as the airball, I'm going to say it's just going to be this particular equipment level packaging on this one. This one's not the one I would pick. I'd probably pick a Pro 4X or something like that, maybe with a more basic interior or whatever, because this is pretty expensive to have like the halogen headlights up in there in the front and the space silver wheels. Let's go ahead and get that sound level reading. Sitting at 58.7. That's a really good reading. It's been a while since we've been in the competition, but I definitely, just by the seat of my pants, think that this is just as quiet as the Ford Ranger. I feel like it's quieter than the Tacoma as well. And let's go ahead and talk about the pricing as well. So the S is going to start at $27,840, the SV $30,540, and the Pro 4X is $34,240. Now this one does have the convenience package as well as the technology package, and then we add the $1175 destination charge. This one's going to be $39,985.
But overall, spending time with this all-new Frontier, I have to say I'm walking away quite impressed. Of course, the outgoing generation, it lasted for a long time. I think, I swear it's like 15 or 17 years or something like that. But I'm glad that Nissan took that time to work on this new model and genuinely make it really good, because that is exactly what they did. They really took a lot of, I think, inspiration from and best elements from the competition. They've combined a lot of that stuff here, giving you best-in-class horsepower, a 9-speed automatic transmission. A lot of value is baked in at all the trim levels as well. And, all in all, it's just a very impressive product. Can't wait to take a look at the Pro 4X model later on as well. Well guys, we hope you enjoyed this in-depth look at the all-new 2022 Nissan Frontier. Of course, if you enjoyed this video, we'd really appreciate it if you would show your support and go down below and click that subscribe button, as well as like and comment on this video. Our channel contains a lot of different vehicles at all price points, including this Frontier's competitors, so you can go and check out those videos. And of course, we'll see you next time as we sample more of the latest automotive delicacies.